Welcome back. In this video, we'll be focusing on the myth of objectivity and looking at data from CUHSD schools to discuss inconsistencies in grading practices. Let's take a moment to highlight the myth of objectivity. Dr. Douglas Reeves says, the difference between failure and the honor roll often depends on the grading policies of the teacher. Many teachers believe that numbers don't lie. But as the previous exercise with the hypothetical assessment in video 2 taught us, all decisions about how to assign points are subjective. Then turning a number into a letter grade is also subjective. Where are the cutoffs? What's your grading scale? Why is that your grading scale? There are so many questions that arise in developing and grading assessments. We want to show you some data that illustrates this.
This graph shows semester grades from one course at one CUHSD school. This course is taught by 5 different teachers at the same school. If you'd like to open this graph in a separate window on your device, you can find it in Canvas as a picture file called One CUHSD School Semester Grades. Again, this is the same course with 5 different teachers. The course and the site are irrelevant. What matters is the grade distribution data. What we want you to do is take a moment to look at the data with these questions in mind. What do you notice? What are your observations? What problems does this data hint at? What questions does this data inspire? What might this data tell us about our district-wide inequities? Please pause the video and examine the data now.
With the last graph, we saw vast differences between 5 different teachers of the same subject at one school. As you look at the next piece of data, think about how grading inconsistencies between teachers might lead to inconsistencies between schools. This is one course's semester grades at the 5 different schools. If you'd like to view this image on your device, you can find it as a picture file in Canvas called 5 CUHSD Schools Semester Grades. Just a note, this is not the same course as in the previous graph. It doesn't matter what the course is. It doesn't matter which school is which. Take a moment to pause the video and consider the same questions as before. What do you notice? What are your observations? What problems does the data hint at? What questions does this data inspire? What might this data tell us about our district-wide inequities? Please pause the video and think about these questions now.
Now that you've had a chance to look at the district-wide data, we want you to answer some specific questions about it. To do this, you'll go to the Canvas discussion called Data Discussion 5 CUHSD Schools to submit your thoughts. The first question is, in general, an A is the most common letter grade. What are some possible explanations for this? Second, School 1 and School 5 have the same percentage of B grades, but differ dramatically in other grades. What are some possible explanations for this? And third, across schools' grade distributions, the most similar grade is a B and the most dissimilar grade is an F. What are some possible explanations for this? Please pause the video and go to the Canvas discussion now to share your thoughts.
As we wrap up this video, remember these takeaways. Number 1, although grading often feels objective, it's inherently subjective. Number 2, lack of coherence around grading practices leads to inconsistencies and a lack of equity in students' grades. And number 3, data can reveal inequities about grading. You're now ready to move on to video 4.